Welcome back to GardenBound. Today we're exploring a thought-provoking question often discussed by gardeners and nature enthusiasts. Are plants sentient? Let's examine what sentient means and whether plants could fit this intriguing category. Sentience is defined as the capacity to feel, perceive, and experience subjectively. It means having sensations and emotions beyond mere automatic responses. Unlike intelligence, which involves learning and applying knowledge, or consciousness, which is being aware of oneself and surroundings, sentience focuses on having subjective experiences and feelings. Traditionally, sentience has been evaluated through the ability to respond to stimuli, awareness, and experiencing pain or pleasure. These criteria have been applied to animals, particularly vertebrates, which show clear behavioral and physiological signs of awareness. For example, animals react to harmful stimuli by withdrawing or displaying distress, indicating their sentient nature. Applying these criteria to plants is controversial. Plants respond to stimuli like light, touch, and chemicals through complex physiological and biochemical mechanisms. However, unlike animals, plants lack a nervous system and brain, which are usually associated with the capacity for subjective experience and consciousness. This raises the question: can the sophisticated behaviors observed in plants be considered a form of awareness, or are their responses purely mechanistic? Plants have remarkable abilities to sense and respond to their environment, allowing them to adapt and thrive under varying conditions. They detect light through photoreceptors like phytochromes, cryptochromes, and phototropins, crucial for processes like photosynthesis and growth orientation. For instance, phototropins enable plants to grow towards light through phototropism. Plants also sense gravity through gravitropism. Specialized cells in roots and shoots use starch-filled organelles called statoliths to detect gravity, guiding roots to grow downward and shoots upward. This ensures that roots anchor the plant and absorb nutrients, while shoots access light and air above ground. Touch sensitivity, or Thigmotropism, is another ability. When plants like the sensitive Mimosa or climbing vines encounter physical contact, mechanoreceptors in their cells activate. These receptors detect pressure changes, leading to rapid responses. For example, the leaves of the sensitive Mimosa fold up when touched as a defense mechanism, while tendrils of climbing plants wrap around supports for stability. Chemical signals also play a crucial role. Plants detect and respond to chemical cues in their environment. For instance, roots grow towards nutrient-rich areas through chemotropism. Additionally, plants release volatile organic compounds when attacked by herbivores, signaling neighboring plants to bolster their defenses. These interactions also facilitate communication with beneficial soil microbes, enhancing nutrient uptake and disease resistance. Underlying these sensory responses are complex signaling networks involving hormones and gene expression changes. For example, the hormone auxin mediates many growth responses to light and gravity, promoting cell elongation on specific sides and causing the plant to bend or grow in a particular direction. Similarly, calcium ions act as secondary messengers in response to mechanical and chemical stimuli, translating external signals into physiological changes. These sensory capabilities highlight the sophisticated nature of plant life. While plants may not have brains or nerves, their ability to perceive and adapt to their environment through intricate mechanisms challenges our conventional understanding of sensory perception. Plants exhibit a fascinating array of complex behaviors that allow them to interact with their environment in seemingly animal-like ways. These behaviors, ranging from rapid movements to sophisticated communication strategies, show a remarkable level of responsiveness and adaptability. For example, the sensitive Mimosa displays rapid leaf folding in response to touch. When touched or shaken, its leaves collapse inward within seconds, a defensive mechanism against herbivores or to dislodge insects. This movement is triggered by rapid changes in cell water pressure, facilitated by ion fluxes and cell wall adjustments. The Venus flytrap, a carnivorous plant, captures and digests insects using modified leaves that snap shut when tiny hairs are triggered by prey movements. This trapping mechanism requires two hairs to be touched in quick succession, preventing accidental closure. Once closed, the trap secretes digestive enzymes to break down prey into absorbable nutrients, showcasing a sophisticated strategy for nutrient acquisition. Plants also engage in complex communication through chemical signals and root networks. For instance, when attacked by herbivores, plants release volatile organic compounds, VOCs into the air to warn neighboring plants. These neighboring plants then bolster their chemical defenses in anticipation of attack, enhancing the collective defense within plant communities. Underground, plants communicate through intricate networks involving their roots and symbiotic fungi known as mycorrhizal networks. Often called the Wood Wide Web, these networks connect multiple plants, allowing them to exchange nutrients, water, and chemical signals. For instance, a tree under pathogen attack may send distress signals through the mycorrhizal network, prompting other trees to activate their defenses. This system facilitates resource sharing and enhances plant community resilience by enabling coordinated responses to environmental stressors. Allelopathy is another form of plant interaction, where plants release chemicals into the soil to influence the growth of neighboring plants. These chemicals can inhibit the germination and growth of competing species, giving the releasing plant a competitive edge. For example, the black walnut tree produces juglone, a chemical that suppresses the growth of many plants in its vicinity, demonstrating strategic use of chemical warfare to manage space and resources. These behaviors illustrate the dynamic and interactive nature of plant life. Through rapid movements, sophisticated traps, and intricate communication systems, plants display adaptability and strategic behavior that challenge traditional perceptions of them as static and unresponsive organisms. This complexity underscores the advanced mechanisms plants have evolved to survive and thrive in diverse environments. Scientific research has greatly expanded our understanding of how plants respond to stress, damage, and environmental changes. Numerous studies have revealed that plants are capable of sophisticated and dynamic responses to various stimuli, often resembling behaviors seen in higher organisms. One study from the University of Wisconsin-Madison found that when plants are injured, they release electrical and chemical signals similar to nervous responses in animals. These signals trigger defensive mechanisms such as producing chemicals that deter pests. For example, when tomato plants are chewed by caterpillars, they emit VOCs that can repel pests and attract predators of the caterpillars, creating a layered defense strategy. Research at the University of Western Australia has shown that plants can remember previous drought conditions and adjust their responses to improve survival during subsequent dry periods. This memory-like behavior is mediated through epigenetic changes, which involve modifications to DNA expression without altering the genetic code itself. These changes help plants prime their defenses and enhance their resilience against future stresses. Plants also exhibit remarkable communication capabilities when facing threats. The University of California, Davis found that sagebrush plants damaged by herbivores release chemical signals that neighboring plants can detect. These signals trigger the production of defensive chemicals in the neighboring plants, effectively warning them of potential danger and enhancing the collective defense of plant communities. Moreover, scientists at the University of Exeter discovered that plants emit ultrasonic distress signals when subjected to drought stress. These high-frequency sounds, not audible to the human ear, could potentially serve as distress signals to nearby plants or even animals that interact with plants, though the full implications of this phenomenon are still being explored. These findings challenge traditional views of plant life as simple and reactive. Plants' ability to communicate distress, adapt to changing environments, and retain memory-like responses blurs the lines between plant and animal behaviors. This growing body of evidence suggests that plants possess a level of complexity and responsiveness that warrants reconsideration of their place in the hierarchy of living organisms. The concept of plant sentience has sparked significant philosophical debate, challenging our fundamental assumptions about life and consciousness. Proponents argue that the sophisticated behaviors and adaptive responses observed in plants suggest a form of awareness. They contend that if sentience is defined as the ability to perceive and respond to stimuli, then plants, with their intricate sensory and signaling systems, meet this criterion. Plants sense light, gravity, and chemical signals and respond in ways that optimize their growth and survival, suggesting a meaningful interaction with their environment. Critics argue that these responses are purely mechanistic and do not indicate true sentience. They maintain that while plants exhibit complex behaviors, these are driven by biochemical and physiological processes without any subjective experience or consciousness. The lack of a central nervous system in plants is often cited as fundamental difference that precludes them from having awareness or experiencing sensations like animals do. From this perspective, plant responses, however sophisticated, are akin to programmed actions rather than conscious decisions. If we were to consider plants as sentient beings, the ethical implications would be profound. Recognizing plant sentience could challenge current norms in agriculture and gardening, which often treat plants as resources to be managed and exploited. This perspective might lead to re-evaluating practices like monoculture farming, deforestation, and the use of harmful chemicals. Ethical farming practices might need to incorporate respect for the well-being of plants, potentially limiting actions that cause harm or stress. In gardening, acknowledging plant sentience could foster more compassionate and sustainable approaches, emphasizing harmony with nature and the well-being of plant ecosystems. This could influence plant selection and pest control methods. Considering plants as sentient might deepen our relationship with nature, promoting stewardship and responsibility towards the plant kingdom. Many indigenous cultures and traditional societies have long viewed plants as beings with spirit or consciousness. For example, the indigenous peoples of the Amazon rainforest believe in the interconnectedness of all life forms, and often attribute plants with spiritual significance and agency. Similarly, in animistic traditions worldwide, plants are seen as living entities with intrinsic value and purpose, deserving of respect and care. These perspectives contrast with the mechanistic view of plants that has dominated Western science and philosophy. However, as modern scientific inquiry continues to uncover the complexities of plant behavior and communication, the lines between these traditional beliefs and contemporary scientific thought are beginning to blur. Recognizing plants' sophisticated responses and interactions invites reassessment of how we perceive and value plant life, bridging the gap between indigenous wisdom and modern science. The future of plant research promises to unlock deeper insights into plant behaviors and capabilities. Emerging studies are leveraging advanced technologies to explore how plants sense, communicate, and adapt to their environments. High-resolution imaging and time-lapse photography reveal intricate plant movements and interactions over time. Molecular biology techniques, such as CRISPR gene editing and RNA sequencing, dissect the genetic and biochemical pathways underlying plant behaviors, providing clues about the mechanisms driving plant responses. Plant electrophysiology is gaining traction, measuring electrical signals within plants to understand how they perceive and process environmental stimuli. This approach could reveal analogs to neural activity in animals, offering new perspectives on plant communication and decision-making processes. Advances in machine learning and artificial intelligence analyze large datasets of plant behaviors, helping to identify patterns and correlations that might indicate more complex forms of awareness or memory in plants. Future research might uncover astonishing aspects of plant life that could revolutionize our understanding of biology and ecology. Scientists speculate that plants might possess forms of learning and memory that enable them to adapt to changing conditions more effectively. For instance, studies could reveal how plants remember past environmental stresses and adjust their growth accordingly, similar to how animals learn from experience. This could lead to redefining intelligence and consciousness, extending these concepts to include non-animal life forms. Discoveries about plant communication through root networks or chemical signals could transform our understanding of ecosystem dynamics. Decoding the language of plants might highlight their role in maintaining ecological balance and resilience, emphasizing their active participation in the web of life. These potential discoveries have significant implications for agriculture, gardening, and environmental conservation. Understanding the sophisticated behaviors and needs of plants could lead to more sustainable and humane farming practices. Farmers might adopt methods that align with natural plant behaviors, such as polyculture planting systems that mimic ecosystems and enhance plant health. Precision agriculture, driven by insights into plant responses, could optimize resource use and reduce reliance on chemical inputs, promoting environmentally friendly farming. In gardening, embracing the complexity of plant life could inspire new approaches that prioritize the well-being and natural behaviors of plants. Gardeners might integrate techniques that support plant communication and symbiotic relationships, fostering vibrant and resilient gardens. Environmental conservation efforts could also benefit from recognizing the sentience and sophisticated behaviors of plants, leading to policies that protect not only animal species, but also the rich diversity of plant life and their crucial roles in ecosystems. As we've explored today, The world of plants is far more dynamic and complex than we might have imagined. Their remarkable sensory capabilities and advanced behaviors challenge our understanding of life itself. Scientific research continues to uncover the mysteries of plant responses and communication, inviting us to rethink our interactions with these vital members of our ecosystem. Whether through science or philosophy, acknowledging the complexity of plant life can lead to more thoughtful and sustainable practices in gardening and agriculture. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the fascinating realm of plants. If you found this video insightful, please like, comment, and subscribe to GardenBound. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest explorations into the natural world. Happy gardening!